Katie, and today I'll be talking about nonverbal communication. First, I will start off by describing exactly what I mean by nonverbal communication, and secondly, I will examine how nonverbal cues can vary between cultures. Third, I will discuss how essential nonverbal communication is in interpersonal communications. How many of you guys have watched the popular show Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Nope.
Me.
The other ones have. In that show, Captain Holt has to repeatedly tell everybody what exactly he means. He lacks nonverbal communication skills, and so everyone is constantly confused on what exactly he means, if he's being sarcastic or being serious or funny or any of that. He lacks all those nonverbal communication skills. The purpose of my speech is to inform you guys on exactly what nonverbal communication is, how you can use it, and how it is useful in interpersonal communication. As defined by the book in Chapter 6, nonverbal communication is messages expressed by non-linguistic means. To put more simply, this is communication that is not using words. Collins Dictionary defines nonverbal communication as those aspects that involve verbal communication, but which may include nonverbal aspects of speech itself, such as tone of voice and speed of speaking. Personally, I like this definition better because it includes examples. Gestures and facial expressions can highlight the main idea or the main point of the conversation. Facial expressions represent a wide variety of emotions and are very important when it comes to reading people as well as expressing yourself in the conversation. Eye contact, posture, and head nodding are all ways to convey attentiveness and active listening to a speaker. Tone, speed, and volume seem like they should be a part of verbal communication. However, they are part of nonverbal communication because they send a message which is not explicitly stated in your words that you say. Nonverbal communication can be especially tricky between people of different cultures. So something like personal space can greatly differ in what's considered normal between cultures or people of different countries. Social cultural norms from the area where someone is shapes how their nonverbal communication cues or what's normal for the nonverbal communication skills. One of the most evident differences in nonverbal communications is what they consider appropriate distance to speaking to somebody. So Hall distinguishes between 4 distance categories. The first being intimate state, so going in for a hug or handshaking, for example. Second is personal space, so that's when you're talking to someone you're close to, someone you're friends with. Third is social space, so this is between someone you might not know as well or not as comfortable with. You're going to keep a greater distance between them than you might with your friends. 4 is public space, so people from the public that you don't know, you don't want to get too close to. There's different norms on how close you can get to that person. Unlike personal space, emotions are very universal and straightforward. You can tell right on someone's face, are they upset, are they happy, are they sad, are they confused. This is very important in communicating, especially with people of different cultures, because there might be a language barrier or something like that, but you can know right away, oh, they're confused, I need to explain it differently. Nonverbal communication is essential in everyday life, whether you're interpreting the cues or sending them or understanding them to allow you how to strengthen your own interpersonal relationships. Stokoe states that nonverbal communication, when done correctly, can impact moods, it can strengthen relationships. For example, Futella talks about the importance of listening intently. So just like you guys are doing, you guys are nodding, you guys are making eye contact, that's very important. Instead of just giving me a blank face where I can't really read if you guys are understanding what I'm talking about, nonverbal cues, or whether you're confused, but you guys are showing me that you understand, so that's very important. You guys are sending those cues to me. So basically, the definition of nonverbal communication is just using non-linguistic cues and actions. Also, another important part is nonverbal communication can vary between cultures, and you have to recognize that and adjust yourself accordingly. If used correctly, nonverbal communication can strengthen your interpersonal relationships. Is there any questions? So I will restate the definition one more time.